Yo, 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 yo. Back with another one. Got Julian, Jason with me tonight.
How y'all doing?
How was y'all weekend?
It was good. But before we start off, me and Jason gotta give a shout out to a fallen comrade who we went to high school with, who's no longer with us. It was his 40th birthday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Happy birthday, Greg. You are loved. You are missed by everybody.
Cheesy the Great.
And just one real funny story about Greg. He was, he really should be kind of spoken into in a real good light. He was an awesome dude. He was one of one, and he definitely is missed by a lot of folks. So definitely, man, we love you again.
Yeah, he was my best friend, so yep, most definitely.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I don't. It's hard for me to follow up on that, right?
No, I'm sorry.
That's y'all boy, but I
I
saw the outpour that you guys did. So
yeah,
he must have been,
out,
must have been a real dude.
Yeah.
So, back on a lighter note. Actually, sorry. Let's go introductions again. Where can they find you guys at?
You can find me on Facebook at Julian Smith.
Oh, that's it. That's all you're giving this
He
week.
don't want nobody.
He said no more people for the IG.
Because
he can't respond to all the messages.
When I'm on Instagram, I don't use Instagram a lot. I just drop stories on there.
Yeah.
I'm more on the book, if anything, with Instagram.
Okay.
I stay on there just with a couple people who aren't on Facebook that I'm cool
See,
with.
for me, Facebook is like family, and then Instagram is like, if I don't know you, just follow me on Instagram.
It's reversed. Facebook is for me just to cut up.
Well, Jason, where they find you at?
And you can find me on IG, TigerHeli19, TigerHeli 1919, and the same for Snapchat.
I ain't got Snapchat, man. I don't think
You might not need it.
Yeah, I just felt like I was too old for the Snapchats and TikToks.
I can't. I just don't see me doing TikTok.
I know I ain't dancing for one. I be seeing. You know what's the weirdest thing for me is going to like a store or something and then seeing a little kid got the phone in the shelf and they. It's a thing that they do. They just do it out in the public. They don't care who watching.
TikTok is nothing but young people's karaoke now. It's the best way to describe it.
Man,
I just
State
can't
Farm
get down with
or
it.
whatever commercial is that State Farm. Dun, 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 dude be watching him dance in the street and he get in an accident.
Yeah. I might start a TikTok of me just lifting up random shit and just go like this, put it down and smile at everybody like this.
But
I might do that. Yeah.
He started with how the weekend was.
How much was my weekend? Let's see. It was pretty good.
all right.
It was a little mellow for once. Spending a lot with the family, and that was about it.
Cool.
Yeah, my weekend was pretty good. Spent it local on Friday and took the party down to Dewey. I actually just got back from there, and I was being a complete saint down there. So
That's a damn lie.
that is true. It's the absolute truth.
That's a damn lie.
Because I've already we'll talk about that off camera.
Well, I'm a tri-state tip on IG.
Yeah.
Well, we had somewhat of a interesting week. I think the big thing that kind of started this week is the news of DC canon Batgirl after it already filmed and about like $90 million already put into it. Deciding
That's crazy
to drop the movie. I mean, for a combination of reasons, but one of the main reasons I think we saw was that it was testing bad in like pre-screenings.
Yeah.
Any initial reaction?
All right, you want me to start? My first reaction was I'm glad it happened, but I mean, first of all, I feel bad for the crew and I feel bad for the writers and everybody involved in that because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna want to come in with the intent on making a bad movie. That's not the intent. I mean, they want to come in and put out the best product as possible. But given DC's track record, they were all over the place with it, and I'm kind of glad that somebody finally said enough. We gotta focus on our core characters, and then let's worry about all the side guys now. It's interesting. I've never seen a movie that was done, and was it 90% done? It was halfway done? Just canceled. That's unprecedented. But we're going to see what happens. Like I said, I feel bad for everybody involved, but it's a move that needed to be done because I really wasn't invested in a Batgirl film. I really didn't want to see it. That's just straight up. I mean, I think it was... And then they were saying, I guess it was supposed to tie in with The Flash. We found out that it was coming out. Now it's going to stay, but they're saying it was just a lot of confusion from the test audiences that gave it a score. So we'll see what happens from there.
Jason?
I ain't want to see it no way.
And honestly, I feel I kind of feel that same way. I think really the only reason people would have seen it is because it's another thing Michael Keaton's in. I think it needed to come out after The Flash, though, in order to make that make sense, right? But I think the biggest thing for me is... So when we were talking about this in our text messages and my reaction, right, I was like, DC can kiss my ass. What I mean by that is the disrespect that they had the audacity to just wing it and just do bullshit. And now it took how many years they've been doing these Snyderverse / whatever verse movies. It took till now for them to get their shit together and say, yo, we have no real direction. For somebody to come in and say, yo, what the fuck going on here? And now we're going to try to get it. It's disrespectful to moviegoers, somewhat Sony-esque. And I hold Sony to a higher regard because at least they kind of just own that they fucking up and they just going to put out bullshit. And that's what you're going to get from them, right?
And that's bad because they're trying to basically insult the audience.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you got to give Dave Zaslav some credit because he came in there and basically was like...
But it makes me pissed off about what we did for the past how many years we've been down this track. Whenever Man of Steel came out, which is probably closer to 10 now, for them
almost 11 years, I think.
Yeah. And for them to not have a focus or a path or a general idea where they want to lead to, and maybe Ezra Miller fucked all this up. Maybe. But I think it was going downhill before that because this was a part of this whole reboot of DC. This Batgirl, the Supergirl, or whatever they want to do.
They canceled everything.
And my issue with it was...
And it wasn't nothing coherent.
I love Batman, but I don't want to see a Batgirl. Like, if we're talking characters
I don't got a problem.
Like, I don't have a problem down the road, but if we're talking characters... and Batman and who he has around him, you got Nightwing, you got Robin, you got Red Hood, you got his damn son. Like I would have loved to see all that before Batgirl.
Batgirl could have been a TV series,
and this definitely ain't like on no sexist.
She should have been a subplot character in the film. They could have just
I could have gave her own short movie on HBO Max only, or a TV series. I'm okay with doing that. If you don't want to make a bigger budget project, do a lower budget TV series like The Peacemaker and better be about Batgirl. Fine, I'm fine with that.
But my whole problem beef was they really never established Batgirl to even begin with.
Correct.
For them to even have a launch.
They didn't do anything with any of the Robins.
So me and him was.
But at least with the Robins, you
their
saw
story.
They're in
They're
Yeah,
in
like
the
you s-
universe.
you
They're
saw
hinted
the-
at, and they
Yeah.
never flushed out.
Yeah.
So they could have done that, and honestly, they should have done that.
And me and him off subject, we was talking about this off the air. We was like, it makes zero sense. Why are you doing a Batgirl film? And you clearly put Jason Todd's character in BVS. And
So-
you implying that Nightwing is a part of this universe.
And not
Where is
even
he
just
at?
then. Even in the Christopher Nolan movies, you get to the end, and at the end of what was it? Dark Knight Rises, and then boom. I just didn't I do have an idea of why the Batgirl was put in there, but
And no, let's say it, because
I felt like
Marvel is reaching different demographics.
Yep.
Young, old, all different races, different religions. DC only touched Wonder Woman. And that's the only thing outside their core bubble that actually went out and did something that's not, 16 to what, 45?
They wanted a female
Male.
lead for. They wanted a female lead for a male-driven world. That's the answer that they did it.
And
I
that's
think
the
it's
only
the
thing that they
wrong
did.
character to use.
And
for
so
that.
look at the ones that they said coming out. Batgirl, Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is Hispanic. They're going after different demographics. However, without a clear, coherent path about where these stories are taking us, everything's all over the place. We're going to talk about this a little later, but we're getting the Joker 2, different universe. We're getting the Batman 2, different universe. And those are great movies. Don't get me wrong.
That's my problem right there.
Those are great movies. But this is going to get into my second part of this topic. Now they're talking about they're going forward with a 10-year plan similar to Marvel. 7 years later, so 17-year process now. What does that consist of? Does that mean we're bringing back the same characters? So it's 10 years sound like a new set of characters to me, or a new set of. I know y'all have hopes for Henry Cavill. He said, how old is he?
He's 38. My opinion,
All
they
right,
need
he
to
can stay. But how do you keep one and get rid of everybody else? I think you got to get everybody new.
they're going to have to blow the whole thing up.
Me personally, I feel like I wouldn't even touch the main 3 or 4 superheroes. I wouldn't do a Batman connected universe. I wouldn't do a Superman connected universe. I wouldn't do a Wonder Woman connected universe. I would focus on the B and C level heroes or names that nobody know of, because what Marvel did, nobody cared about Avengers back in 2005 or when did Iron Man come out? 2008. Nobody cared about
2000,
Avengers
2000.
or brand new. Nobody cared about Avengers before Iron Man came out. Nobody cared about Iron Man. I won't say nobody, but he was a B level hero. Now he's in everybody's name, mouth. Do similar to Marvel. Make the smaller teams bigger names. Almost make those names that I'm talking about. These, you know how we want X-Men now?
Right.
Because there's been an X-Men drought. You know why we want Fantastic Four now? Because there's been a Fantastic Four drought, a good Fantastic Four, where you almost have to make people want the Batmans, the Supermans, Wonder Womans again. If you do them 2 years from now, it's going to be like, damn, another failed project. But if 8 years from now, somebody come at the end of a movie, a Robin movie, and you see Batman's cowl on the floor or something like that, it changes the game. But there has to be a want for it. And right now, I think people are a little tired about it, and it's not enough buzz.
You know what I think also? I think people are like I wouldn't say people, but us in the circle that we're in. I think we're like DC fatigue because they're doing everything backwards. And I think people are going to be Marvel fatigue because they're doing everything right. But it's going to be a second notion that I do want to see an alternative at one point.
And you can get an alternative. It just won't be the big hitter alternative. Yeah. And I'm trying to give you a B-list DC hero. Like, I don't want to say Constantine. Constantine's like a C. But you've been talking about Etrigan. You've been talking about...
Etrigan is my guy in there. I mean, his backstory alone, if they was to do it right, it would be awesome to see on screen.
Is Spawn DC?
Nah,
Spawn was Image, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's Image.
Yeah, we were just talking about. I was just talking about it the other day. 'Cause I was talking about Pitt.
They were saying Jamie Foxx is playing him. Off subject.
He
Okay
is.
with that.
He is playing.
Yeah, I think he did get cast.
That's a strange.
He got casted in two things that I think people are waiting for. He's supposed to be Mike Tyson, and he's supposed to be Spawn.
But speaking of Constantine, I actually have the Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves. That's in my top 5 favorite superhero movies.
I like Constantine.
I
It's
like
a good
it.
movie.
I like Keanu Reeves too.
I
So
don't-
it's hard for me to any Keanu Reeves movie. If it's good or bad, I'm gonna still say.
You
I
know
like
they
it.
changed a lot of what his character was.
He fit to me.
He was damn good in that.
I like Keanu Reeves, and I also I'm a big Shia LaBeouf fan.
Yeah.
You know,
So
That was
I wouldn't
better
be
than
mad
what
if they
I
did a
thought.
reprise, like a part 2 of that. I wouldn't be mad at it.
and like in that movie, I feel like the way that they did Satan in that movie is like you've seen so many interpretations of the devil, Satan in movies, on TV shows. I don't know, like it's something about how they did him in that movie was like.
It made, and I don't want to sound like antichrist or anything, but it made me want to see more of him.
Yeah.
Because how he
Just
was.
not in real life.
What episode are you on? In
was it Sandman?
Yeah.
I just watched the first episode.
We're talking about it.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
You'll see their iteration of something similar, and I want to get your opinion next week.
All right.
But back to the DC stuff.
I'm kind of disinterested at this point.
In DC as a whole?
Yeah, because I was a big Snyderverse fan. I was all in. You pulled the rug from under me. You gave me something back. You pulled the rug again. And this is too much jerking back and forth. And this is my thing. I'm having a hard time getting excited for these Marvel movies that are coming out in 3-4 years. Like me personally, I can't get excited for something that's 2, 3, 4 years off. I just can't.
Well, next year, I think they're giving us enough next year. We're getting Blade next year.
Yeah.
We're getting a whole summer next year is going to be Daredevil. 18 episodes.
You figure
that's going to be the whole summer.
The next 5-6 years is going to be
I'm probably not going to watch
nominated.
it.
You ain't going to watch the Daredevil, Jake?
I already know.
I got this renewed interest in Daredevil. I'm about to go pick up some comics and everything. I got this. It's something about. I don't know what happened, but
He's a good character. If
I
you
like
really,
it.
I got hooked on Daredevil late in my comic reading career, my comic reading life. But I mean, Born Again, it should be good off subject.
I think it's
18
episodes just sound crazy to me.
That's 4 months.
That's like Law and Order.
Yeah, that's what 4.
That's for you.
If you look at it, that's what 4. I can just see him swinging the stick with the music, man.
But once you just saying like a,
He's a lawyer.
but when you're saying like a 10-year plan, it's just hard for me to get. Like if it's not within the next 2 years, I'm just kind of like
I get it.
Because I say you don't know what's going to happen between then and then.
I get it. Now
stuff changes.
D23 gonna happen next month, and I think we're gonna get some announcements. So if we get some announcements about potential, I don't know, Fantastic Four castings, X-Men castings, you would get excited?
Which I love Fantastic Four, and I love X-Men.
You wouldn't get excited?
Probably not, because I know.
Right.
Because I'm more just give me the movie.
I get you.
Like the casting's cool, but it's like I need the movie.
I get it.
And I know the whole is so far off for X-Men. It's so far off for Fantastic
Anything
Four.
can happen by then.
Like, and I'm just like, when it gets closer to the time, I'll start getting excited. But just right now, I'm just like,
I got you.
I think right now, I just want to see who's playing who, and I'm not really gonna jump up for circles. I mean, we hearing some rumors about who's playing who.
We'll talk about it a little bit. Let's conclude our DC talk real quick. So what's still on the table? Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, Black Adam, Blue Beetle. Honestly, I think they're gonna let all those movies rock. But is that the end? Is there no more rock Black Adam?
This is the crazy thing, because now here's where it's going to get into. Even though that Snyder is basically the Snyderverse is getting kind of forced out, they're using a lot of breadcrumbs that he left.
That's the weird thing. It's like you either got to sever the ties or continue, right?
That's where I'm confused.
And this is what's throwing everything off
just,
for me.
And this is just in our circles that know about
Yeah.
everything that's going on. I can imagine a common viewer trying to watch this, like, well, what's this? Well, why is this? And who's there? Personally, I would have just blowed the whole thing up and just started from scratch. Because I mean, right now it's looking like it's a lost cause.
And I tried my hardest for the past 3 minutes.
I love, like I said,
to
I
figure
love
out
DC.
a B-level, C-level DC character make a movie. I couldn't even think of one.
But you figure
All I could think about is the sidekicks right
DC
now.
this isn't the
They
first
got
time.
a lot of character. Static Shock. That's the one. Something like that. If they can continue to find these little characters that don't have ties to the big five, big four, whoever the number is, if they have characters like that they can just bypass time with, make a Static Shock one too. Make another Constantine. Do these other Swamp Thing for all I care. Yeah. Do these movies, and then year 7, do us a little subtle hint in one of them.
All right, here's another question I want
to
ask.
Or year 6 even, but it can't be next. It can't be 2 years from now. It can't be 3 years from now.
Right.
After this Aquaman movie come out, that shit gotta be done.
I got one question to ask y'all though, and this may sound funny.
Static Shock. Oh damn, Static Shock.
Right,
We didn't get no Static Shock movie.
I would do one. Do y'all think do you think just comics in general should just get rid of all the connective tissue and just make it their own thing now?
What you mean?
Everything is carrying over into something now. If I'm just like
one-offs.
Yeah, one-off, and just go from there. Just focus on that character now.
I think it's too late to go back because now people have been trained to want that connected movie.
You mean in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people are so trained
I
into.
think Static Shock can do that. I think Constantine can do it. And then if you want to add them into something later on, you can. I think there is, and
Some
technically
characters.
that's what they're doing with the Batman. That's what they're doing with the Joker. Mm-hmm. It's not connected. And that principle and things like that can happen, I think, but it can't happen with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, in my opinion. It has to be a little space. We gonna have to let go of Gal Gadot. I know she our girl, but she gonna have to let go a little bit.
I'm
All right, I might be done with this episode.
the show's over.
Blasphemy.
What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna bring her back
But here's the thing.
and say, "Oh no, her stuff still happening."
They now
Gal.
But here's the thing. They're saying a 10-year plan, and Ben Affleck is what?
He ain't doing this for 10 years.
No, he's
I'll
not.
tell you that.
He's not. No, he's a lot of them ain't gonna be doing that for 10 years,
They already, to me, they already lost Cyborg.
and that's bad because
That was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the chance to get Michael B. Jordan, but he's supposed to be doing this shit is so fucked up. Why is he doing a black Superman?
No, you didn't hear? They canceled.
They
everything.
canceled, okay.
They canceled everything.
I kind of didn't even want to see that.
I wasn't gonna see it either.
I didn't want to see that. I was like, I don't.
I
think
like
Black
the
Superman.
And again,
If
that's
they was
exactly
doing
what
the
my
black-
point was. Black Panther, we're going to give him Black Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a Hispanic character? All right, we'll give him Jaime Reyes. Oh, they have a woman movie? They got a Black Widow movie coming? Well, I give them that. DC did beat to the punch with Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. But that's all they're trying to do is trying to spread out and hit the different demographics now. And
it just failed. My whole thing is, part of me is like, blow it up. Then you just
this pissed me off so bad.
It's to me. I can
in retrospect, the last 7 years of like bullshit and just thinking, oh, we about to get a Justice League movie. Oh, we about to. It's pissing me off thinking about it now.
I mean, if you, I mean, you make a point. I mean, it's put like this: if you say this, and we're just fans of this, we're just doing this we're just talking about it. I can only imagine what's going on behind the scenes in some of them boardroom meetings when they're talking about this stuff.
I don't think they.
I don't
Honestly,
think
most
they
of them probably don't
understand
care.
it. I don't. They don't.
I think
worry
they
about
see
money.
who made the most dollars. All right, Batman,
Who makes
Superman
enough
movie
money
did
for
good.
their-
We make sure we get Henry Cavill for another movie. All right, Wonder Woman did numbers. We're gonna give her a Wonder Woman too. And it's frustrating just thinking about it.
As a fan, it is. I mean, but
I feel like you should have just stayed the course. What you started, you should have just stayed the course. And it got messed up when they hit the panic button too early on stuff. And
to me, it's just like,
I don't even care.
What messed this up? Where did it go wrong at? Batman vs Superman?
It went. I don't even think.
Apparently, Batman vs Superman had shit cut out.
Yeah, the that's when they started cutting the movie short because the DVD, I have the Ultimate Cut or whatever.
Yeah, and they reinserted some stuff in there, and it kind of made sense.
It patched up some of the plot holes.
That right there.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
Because it was like it started with the higher ups. Like I always say to all blue in the face, if you hire people to make your movies and you hire a director, you hire a producer, you hire these people to do their job, let them do their job. Let them do what they got paid to do. Let them see their vision all the way through. And the problem was they got some backlash. There was some bad press. There was some bad reviews. But for as many people that hated Batman versus Superman, there were still as many people that loved it. And it did numbers. Mm-hmm. It did numbers. The problem was we're getting this reaction, and they were trying to chase Marvel.
I think what ended up happening is it happened basically with Man of Steel, because the third act. Now this is where I think
I felt Man of Steel was a good movie,
but the third act of the movie is where a lot of people were complaining. Basically, well, that's why they changed the BVS fight at the end with Doomsday and Batman out into the abandoned city, because they basically said that Superman was
damaging. Too much damage.
Was doing more. Was basically
people's insurance rates was going up.
Yeah, he was grabbing people's cars and wondering if they hitting him.
That was hilarious. It was like you watching Superman use your car, stop a bad guy,
and he missed. That shit was funny. But I mean, seriously, that's what happened. They said, and then I didn't really see it as controversial, and they said, well, Superman broke the man's neck. But they kind of like boxed themselves in. Well, you didn't put kryptonite in the movie, so where are you going? How's Superman going to stop the guy? Well, snap his neck. And I guess the parent board jumped on Warner. They said, well, he's not supposed to do that. So they tried to lighten up Superman for the BVS, and they said that the final fight of the movie was supposed to be outside of the city where there was no collateral damage.
Okay.
And then I think it started from there, and then you start hearing everything else starting to come out. But off subject, this is not the first time Warner Brothers has messed up. I can remember when they was about to shoot the Justice League Mortal movie years ago. And it was with George Miller. Mm-hmm. And it's a little biography on YouTube. It's a crazy story that they had it laid out. It was supposed to have been outside of the Bale movies. And it was going to be shot in Australia, but it got deaded because of the film strike. It's pictures online of it right now. If you want to look it up, they got Arnie Hammer as Superman, and it was, I think her name was Megan Gale, was Wonder Woman. They had the guy who was Morton Joe.
Okay. And Mad Max.
In Mad Max, yeah. He was Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
And I forgot, wasn't it Adam Brody, or he was the guy?
Yeah,
he was the Flash, and supposedly I think Common or Columbus Short was Jon Stewart. Okay. I kid you not. They was ready to film this thing. The poor guy that was playing Superman, I forgot his name. I can't think of his name on the top of my head. Lord forgive me. But they said the man had his bags packed and was ready to go to Australia and ready to start filming the thing. Got the phone call, said movie's canceled.
So
I'll send you the story, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I really don't know where they go from here. I mean, like I said, for me, I would just give people a drought. Make sure what you put out is decent content, decent movies, not some Sony shit. Just make some decent standalone movies, maybe connected to themselves. With some lesser known, build up that universe. Build up the universe. Let some other people see the other characters that you got. The other, what's the black dude? B and Ricochet. No, Ricochet. What's the chick? They're in the Young Justice series. B, the black chick. Icon's one.
Rocket.
Did
y'all see that milestone thing?
Rocket and whatever the other.
All subject. Did you see the milestone thing?
On
HBO Max.
I did not watch it.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, but there's characters that they got. Rocket's one, Icon, Static. There's other just internal DC characters, native DC characters that they could work on and develop. Give us a drought. When this whole X-Men and all this shit start cooling down, you can't. Marvel is about to come off Avengers and transition into X-Men and Fantastic Four. Don't fight fire with fire, especially when you've been putting out
Do your own damn thing.
Basura for the past 7 years. Give them a drought. Take that L, own the L, and rise up. And when your time is to strike. Maybe you do a Justice League movie first and do separate movies. Maybe not. We don't need another Wonder Woman origin story. We don't need a Cyborg origin story. We don't need Flash, Aquaman, Flash maybe not. We don't need a Batman origin. We can get straight character stories. Introduce them later on at the end of Static Shock 3. Let Batman show up in the let lightning strike, and you can see him on the rooftop. Just the 90s cartoon outlet. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just, to me, this whole shit is crazy because
you got to take the L. In my opinion, they got to take the L.
This shit is crazy, and this is just us as fans talking about it. But it's just like they don't want to use the Snyderverse, but they are putting in breadcrumbs of what he put
I think they got to take that.
That's where, in me, I'm like, what do y'all have going on? I know it's best that they both part ways. I mean, it's good that he at least, if anything, Snyder at least gave him a jumping point on how to.
Snyder gave them some box off money.
Yeah,
that's what he gave them.
I wouldn't necessarily say he was the savior of DC.
He gave them some box office money.
But if you look at his influence on some of these characters,
what would be crazy? Sorry, go ahead, finish.
If he's got he put a lot of these guys on, and he's basically gave them a jumping point, whether they like it or not. Now it's just depending on who's going to run it and go from there. I just think personally, they need to just blow the whole damn thing up and just start from scratch.
Ooh.
I mean, I would love to see Cavill come back, but now you get here now. Oh, he is. Now he's not. I'm over the shit now. I'm serious.
And which is what I kept asking you each week: is Cavill the savior? Is Cavill? I really have no idea about how to fix this, other than to just accept the loss and wait your turn. And right now, that turn look like it's going to be 5 years.
Like, you can't even guarantee a movie coming out, and you got the executive or the head of Warner just basically saying,
I mean, they will have movies.
Whack.
They will have the Batman movies. They will have the Joker movies, and they continue doing disconnected world stuff. I'm okay with it. But don't try this connected universe again. At least 7 years from me. So,
I mean, if you're not giving me a standalone Ben Affleck, Batfleck movie opposite Jared Leto's Joker,
don't matter.
I don't even care.
I get it.
That should have been the thing that they should have did first. They should have did a Batman with Ben first, then a BVS. Well, here's what I do. They should have did a Man of Steel. See, this pisses me off.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish this thought, and then
I'm
we
sorry,
transition.
You know how I've been holding on.
Then we get it out, and then we're going to transition.
They should have did a Man of Steel, then they should have did a Batman film first. Then they should have did a BVS, and then go from there. But they wanted to pick their money and spend it on. They wanted to cash some executive checks. I mean,
because Avengers was kicking. Avengers 1 hit $1 billion.
Well,
so of course
they were too damn reacted. They reacted too damn bad.
Yes, and they tried to speed track to the Justice League, but in light of talking about the Avengers, let's transition to the Marvel stuff. All right, this is giving me some better vibes.
Okay,
to talk about, right?
DC is killing.
So it was confirmed that Giancarlo Esposito. He himself confirmed he talked to Marvel. He said while fans want him to be, some notable villain names, i.e. Doom, Magneto, he personally would love to play Professor X. This is his words. He's confirmed his conversation. So it looks like if I'm Marvel, I'm definitely putting him in something. It's just what do they feel is best fit. So you personally, where would you like him? What would you want to see him as?
I mean, he's a dynamic actor, number one. I mean, even the 3 picks that they have him for, I mean, he would crush them. If he was Magneto, we kind of seen. I think he's played a villain so long with a lot of his characters. I think a challenge for me as a viewer was to see him be a.
But it would be a breath of fresh air. Every time I say that, breath of fresh air, I'm getting off topic. What movie was that? A breath of fresh ass. What was that? He kept trying to say breath of fresh air. Was it Will Smith in like Bad Boys? He was like, oh, I'm just trying to get a breath of fresh air. Sorry, a breath of fresh air. And I fumble because when I want to say breath of fresh air, I keep wanting to say breast of fresh air first. But either way, I'm sorry. It may be a breath of fresh air that he does not play a villain and that we do get to see him in a different light. I remember him in Fresh. Do you remember Fresh back in the 90s?
Yeah, that was a real
villain. Most notably, Breaking Bad villain. The Star Wars series we just got villain.
He was more Doom-like in The Mandalorian.
It was Mandalorian.
Wasn't he also in Do the Right Thing?
Yeah,
you stepped on my Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
He's
been around for a minute. He's been around for a minute, and I'm glad, you alluded earlier, that he's finally getting some shine. But I think he did hit his stride, and this is where his stride is. And a lot of it is timing. And this, especially that villain role, he digs in so well because, his exterior, a part of a villain for me is the unknown, right? And so when the interior doesn't match the exterior, which to me, why Joker is so a formidable villain, right? Because he's kind of scrawny. It's the unknown about the Joker that really throws you off. You don't know at what length he's about to go. You don't know what he's got planned. Physically, he may not be that intimidating. The face paint, everything is meant to throw you off. However, the unknown with Giancarlo Esposito, I think, is what he does so well. It's like it's cool, calm, and collected on the outside, but it's like menacing on the inside at the same time.
Yeah, but like I just said, he would be so. I mean, if you watch him on screen, you can't help but watch him. He's that good. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people are picking him for villain roles because he can make the character of a villain believable, and he can make you kind of relate to his story.
So for you, who would you have him as?
I would like to see him play Professor X. Basically, just for the challenge, because I've seen him play bad so long. I mean, this is kind of like Christian Bale going from American Psycho to playing Batman. I mean, can he pull this off? I think they always say the villain is the easiest character to play. I want to see him play a hero just because he's been a villain so long. It'd be something different for him to see. And he's come out publicly and said that he wants to
do it. So
I hope he gets it. I mean,
Jason?
I could see him. Just his voice alone is Xavier. I mean,
I'm not saying he can't do it. I think he can do. I think he can do any of those 3 roles.
I'm just gonna be real with you. Just give me a bald head white man first, baby. I'm black and I love being black, but you ain't gotta give me everybody in black. I'm alright with it.
And so let's talk about that though. Let's talk about that though,
give me a bald head white man for it.
I think there definitely will be outlash that if they make either one of them. Honestly, I think it'll be less backlash if he's Magneto than he is Professor X. I think people are okay with black people being villains.
Yeah, they always want us to be the bad guy.
But for him to be Professor X, I think people will be like, no, that's not it.
You know what?
I don't think so.
I can already hear it.
I
can hear it now.
It's going to be articles.
It's
It's going to be newspaper articles.
They're going to be upset. They're like, oh, they're trying this. And then all you're going to hear people is, well, what if Black Panther was white? And I don't even want to have that conversation. Just go ahead, leave. Professor X.
And that is
a bald-headed white man, I'm okay with it. Bring back Mike McAvoy. I'm okay with. I like McAvoy as Professor X.
So
I would rather him, or even
the Breaking Bad,
a Sinister. But then I don't know where we're at with age and how they're going to make him look. But a Sinister,
and that's what I was going to try to hit y'all with that. I was going to try to say, I can see him as Sinister. I can see him as Doom. But for something in me, for some reason, I don't know why it's stuck in me. I want Cillian Murphy to be Dr. Doom. I want Cillian Murphy for some reason to be Dr. Doom.
He would pull that off, man, and he would crush the hell out of it.
And I'm okay with Giancarlo Esposito either being Sinister or Magneto. I mean, it's just who would he opposite on the other end is what my concern is now, because if they go with what's the one that's Professor X now?
Patrick Stewart.
McAvoy. If they go with McAvoy, then it doesn't really match to me because I think it's like the difference. You're gonna see the age difference, and so they would have to recast. They definitely did
not go to college together,
right? So if it's the Breaking Bad dude, if it's the white guy from Breaking Bad, and then Giancarlo Esposito, I'm okay with that. If I keep forgetting his name, but if it's him and Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X and Magneto, I'm okay with that. If he's Mr. Sinister, I'm very well with that. I'm more than okay with him as Mr. Sinister, honestly. I think he's my first pick as Mr. Sinister, honestly.
This is one of the rare cases where an actor, well, whoever they's playing,
he's Mr. Sinister.
He's gonna
now I'm thinking about it, and just flashbacks of Mr. Sinister from the 90s show. Oh, yeah. Mr. Sinister ain't never get too razzle dazzled. No. He got pissed off from time to time, but he was cool, calm, and collected for the most part. He was like, Cyclops, I got you, bitch. And
everybody got Cyclops as bitch.
Yeah, don't leave Cyclops the fuck alone.
And now that I'm
like the guy.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because he's a scientist, and you know he's really in that. Giancarlo Esposito is to me Mr. Sinister. I think that's my number one pick for Mr. Sinister.
If they actually did announce that though, but he's so good of an actor. I mean, he can play anything. That man can act as a broom and do some damage with it.
I think Bryan Cranston is the main actor from Breaking Bad. I
couldn't see him playing the Magneto though.
Not Magneto as Professor X. He's already been bald and in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
Yeah, him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I saw that in theaters.
So I can see. I'm not mad with it. I think it's a good fit if y'all do it. If y'all do that reconnection between him and Giancarlo Esposito again.
I would, for some odd reason, I would love to see Viggo Mortensen play Magneto.
I wouldn't hate it.
I think he would be a real interesting.
I wouldn't hate it
because he's kind of old, but he would be young enough to probably look on screen with Giancarlo.
But your brother brought a very interesting plot to me about making the X-Men more civil rights related, as they like the characters were intended. You know, because they're based off of Malcolm X, and so. Instead of doing the World War II vibe with Magneto, make it more civil rights, like he was wrong during the 60s, and let it be Giancarlo Esposito, and he's just mad, you know, on two fronts, the racism and he already experienced, you know, racism. Now he's experiencing another type of discrimination because of the mutants, and that's his, you know, his bad experience with one thing leads into who he develops as a villain.
Really could work.
And so I was like, you know what, you got something there. I can see that.
They're gonna start calling black people mutants.
But it's crazy because you know,
if you're black, you're a
mutant. You mutie.
But we know what mutie means.
But
we know what word that is.
As long as whatever my power is, don't call me black whatever. Don't call me Black Lightning. Don't call me Black Disappearo. Don't call me
Black Zero, Black Hour,
Black Flash. Just call me whatever the power is. That shit is the most. Black Falcon. You ever seen a Black Falcon? Right. Just call me Falcon, motherfucker. Black Lightning. I've never seen Black Lightning, motherfucker.
Remember that shit Sinbad did on Saturday Night Live when they did the Superman funeral? They had Sinbad playing Black Lightning. Oh, y'all have to see that, man.
I thought you was gonna talk about Shazam.
Oh no,
the original
Black Shazam.
No, the original Shazam movie with the genie.
They're
gonna tell you that's Mandela effect. That should be a whole nother episode. But
what happened with this Sinbad?
Oh, so about the Mandela effect.
No.
Oh,
Julian.
Oh,
The story he's about to tell.
Oh, basically they had. I guess it was. You may like this one when Superman had died and they had did the funeral.
Okay.
And God, it's been years since I've seen it. They had Sinbad come in there playing like Black Lightning, and he was spewing names like everybody's got Superman name, Batman name. Why am I Black Lightning? it's funny, man. If you look it up, it's something else. Man.
Some other casting news, and we're going back to DC real quick. We did get confirmed for Lady Gaga as as Harley Quinn in the Joker 2 movie, which still is apparently a musical. I'm not going to knock it because the director he's not bad. I like The Hangover. It was a real transition to be the Hangover director into this movie for one, but I did not hate the Joker. I felt, to me, it wasn't a Joker though. It wasn't my idea of Joker, more as just like a bully incel.
To me, it reminded me of Taxi Driver.
It was really Taxi Driver influenced, and it was more of a PSA for mental health.
I still ain't watched it.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I mean, it comes on TV here and there.
Yeah.
I might
just go ahead. Just go ahead and do it.
Because I'm like,
just go ahead and do it.
Oh, I would watch it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing was
this will be something that I really think you would watch.
But it was everybody talked about it ad nauseum. It almost felt to the point that I didn't need to watch it anymore.
I get it.
Yeah, it's one of the rare things you really have.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
Just with the time aside and just get it out the way.
Yeah, I mean, I want to watch. It's the whole connection of DC and now. Yeah. And I have a problem with, beyond what it's about. Still, to give me a Joker movie, and to not give me a Batman in the Joker movie, you can't. That's like we got this Lex Luthor movie, but there's no Superman, and you're just like, am I?
It was.
I get what you're saying.
It's like I get it. I get it for what it is. It just shouldn't have been called the Joker. Just like Heath Ledger shouldn't have been called the Joker. But that's a whole different conversation for another day.
Well, just give me the quick reason why not.
He was nothing like the Joker. Like, he was a good villain. He was a great terrorist.
I think he was a great interpretation of Joker for Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. Each iteration, it
has never been a definitive Joker in any movie.
Correct. And to me, when we going back to what I said before, everything for me depends on how it compares to the cartoon versions of the 90s. I think Heath Ledger's Joker fit the narrative that they were trying to display for Christian Bale's Batman. I get where you're going with it. I still would say at least watch it for the movie, not as the story of how it connects.
I'll watch the first one. I'm not getting in part 2, and I love some Lady Gaga, and I'm not. We doing this music. I'm cool on that. I don't know. I might watch it. I might be lying.
I want to watch it just because I've seen it, and I'm kind of intrigued by it. I'm not really big on musicals. I mean,
I'm not either. I never watched La La Land or none of those other movies.
The Sound of Music is great.
I low key I did watch Cats, and I was into
Cats was dope.
I didn't watch
the remake.
Well, I watched it during the pandemic.
The remake, and then people hate it.
I watched some of that In the Heights movie.
For the record,
but I only watched like 20
I watched Cats 2 or 3 times in the theater. I thought it was great.
So look. He spent about 6 hours on Cats and 0 on Joker.
I know. I watched it during the pandemic. We was all home. I had to watch something. Shit.
I saw it. My boy, Jason Derulo, who's apparently my stunt double. People say when I go out, Rum Tum Tummer. Yo, he had the sickest songs on there. Remember, he in there. He had the 2 cats in his trash can. Like,
that was funny.
I shouldn't even say that was my favorite character, but he was.
Yeah, you look like
it. What else we got? We got another announcement. I should have kept that on Marvel. Rosario Dawson earlier today pretty much confirmed that Marvel's bringing back John Bernthal as the Punisher. and there will be another Punisher series happening. I like John Bernthal. I'm okay with that. She was saying that that's the only series she did not get to be in, so she's glad to get another shot at it. I'm cool with her being. I get it. It's fine with me. But I definitely think they're going toward the Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
And they're going to have all of them kind of join up in something, either a movie or a series themselves, which that's the better for me.
I think the Midnight Sun, I mean, that's a good, I'm glad he's back because he was a damn
That's a good ensemble. John Bernthal, Daredevil, what's the guy that's playing Moon Knight?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, and whoever they get, if they do Doctor Strange and or if they do I was about to say Keanu Reeves, Ghost Rider, because I was rumored hearing that Keanu Reeves was going to be Ghost Rider years ago.
His name's being
right
heavy that, and he said that was the kind of the role that he said if it was either, he said he would love to play an older Batman or he would
him or the boy from Walking Dead.
Keanu Reeves, I think he would be.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus, he wouldn't be a bad one either. Just he looks like a Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
He's gruff.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he got like 6 Marlboros on his breath.
I'm cool with either one of them, but
I could see him doing it though.
Keanu Reeves and anything. Something else came up. Silver Surfer came up for Keanu Reeves one time.
Really?
Yeah, which I wouldn't be mad at either. I just don't know how that would pan out. I mean, it's CGI, so
you would have to.
It'd just be more voice than anything. But
see, Keanu Reeves is a type character that I want to be able to see him and see who he is. So
what's the other thing I said not to forget? Was that it? Yeah, no. Yep, that was it. That was it. It was that. So shit. Also, this weekend, I know you didn't get to see it, but The Prey dropped.
Prey is dope.
My personal take on it: second best Predator movie after the original.
Oh, you like it better than part 2?
I think I like it better than part 2. And part 2 was, I might have watched part 2 before I watched part 1. And you know what? I have nothing against part 2. The main, it's something about Danny Glover and the way he's hit, like everything, Riggs, and that bottom lip.
I was about to say this.
It just always go like, and he getting chased by the. In the meat locker. I hate it. It's nothing against
that movie.
The movie, but
that second one went through a whole lot of.
It was a farce. It wasn't real. Like it was like a hyper take on. Everything was hyper. The crime in L.A., the guns. He had a 357 Magnum with a scope on it. It was
low key. You wanted the Predator to get rid of him to come in there in Los Angeles. He was like, "Look, get rid of all them."
I mean, it got memorable moments for sure. The Jamaicans, when he fucked up the Spanish or Italian family in the hotel. I remember the naked chick was in the bed screaming, and the dude was hanging from the ceiling.
I was a porn star, right?
Oh, a real life porn star?
Real life porn star. That was it. I forgot her name.
So it had iconic Gary Busey, and it was iconic. But I think just straight coherent storytelling and a good plot, simple, straight to the point, good action, good effects.
And that was my thing with, like, they jump into it like you get, like, it wasn't we knew what the story was going to be.
Right.
But sometimes I watch a movie.
They didn't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, because sometimes I watch a movie, I know what the story's going to be, but I'm sitting there watching it being like, how long is it going to be before we get to, like, immediately, no spoilers, when she saw the ship, which we all saw in the previews, that was way earlier than I was expecting in the movie. I thought we was going to go through a bunch of shit before you see. I'm like, oh, they getting right into it. Yeah. And it came, it did what it was supposed to. I mean, it was immediate. Like, it got straight to business. Yeah. Boom. It was
I was not disappointed by the action.
I was going to say.
I wasn't disappointed by the action.
A buddy of mine sent me some, I kind of say I saw it, but I didn't see it.
So you got to watch it.
He sent me enough for me to pretty much get a good gist of what it was.
I liked it. It was straight to the point, and it was a simple story. It was, hey, coming to hunt. boom, and then you're in the middle. And I love the kills.
Yeah,
The
it was
kills-
great action.
And what I liked about the kills, they were graphic, but they weren't overly.
It fit.
It weren't
the
overly
scene.
graphic. You
Right.
know,
It wasn't Saw.
'Cause-
It was like,
overkill. With
right. It was, I'm here. This is an effective move. Let me do the effective move. And I'm gonna show you the effective move, but it ain't like me just pull out a big ass sword and
Because Jules will
cut you
tell
in
you,
half.
I'm not super into gore. I'm
Damn
not super
sure ain't.
into really graphic things. Well, I feel like it's just graphic for no reason. Like,
Right.
did we really need that?
Saw.
Did it? And then I kind of stay away from some of that stuff. But but then it's certain. I'm weird. Like if it's people killing each other in this graphic, I'm like If it's a creature or a monster, I'm all about it. If it's like Conan, I'm all about it. But then if it's like, oh man, I'm coming to cut your throat, I'm like, whoa. Like,
Jump off topic real quick. I watched The Blob again a couple weeks back, and I did not remember how graphic it was.
Yo, they bodied a little boy in that movie.
Yo, and they melt, and it's like,
He pushed his friend in the
that shit was crazy. I'm like, they did this shit in what was it, 80s,
Yeah,
early 80s.
It was 89.
related story. A friend of mine, she lives in Phoenixville, PA. That's where the Blob was shot.
Oh, really?
There's actually a Blob festival. I don't know. It's called the Blob something. She told me, and they have an actual showing of the movie. The people reenact running out of the theater like in the movie. Like it's a whole. It's a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Like
catch
it's a
that
whole
this time.
thing. Like it just happened. I think it was. I want to say it was last month or the month before. It was
Okay.
just recently.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
she was
catch that
telling me
next
about it.
time.
I didn't know. She said it was filmed there, and they
Yeah,
had
I
the
didn't
whole.
know that.
And it's a whole festival around it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's their claim to fame. Is
Yeah,
the Blob.
I only remember bits and pieces until I rewatched it again like a month ago.
It's
I'm
not
like,
a bad
damn.
movie for an 80s movie.
Yeah,
though,
it's
man.
like way
better
better
than
effects than I thought it was gonna be.
and that was
rewatching
and
it.
that wasn't with CGI. That was
Like practical effects. There was some stuff, but yeah. But
You know,
sorry,
the funny part,
that's good.
while we on that, just that part with the sewer when he dropped the best friend.
yeah, they was killing kids. They was killing kids.
Did the black dude? What was the black dude when he had the suit stuck in him?
Yeah, it was real graphic.
eating him and
It was
he
real
tried to
graphic
get
for
out.
an
He
80s
was
movie, man.
Yo, I love it, man.
But yeah, I guess we still on prep.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was. I felt the kills fit, and they were quote unquote graphic, but it wasn't overly like it was. It was quick, effective. You didn't linger on it. It was like damn, like it was someone. I'm like damn. That's how, but it wasn't like oh. Like it was.
Yep.
I really, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might put it at number 2 too. It was straight, and the action sequences were great.
They were good.
Like even
They were really good.
The hand-to-hand combat scene
Yep.
with the girl.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa, she is getting it in.
it was good. man.
I heard that the
Should have watched
battle
it.
was.
You should have
My
watched
friend
it.
Yeah.
sent me some of the stuff.
I bet you could have watched
Did you see the connection at the end of the movie?
it. Mm-hmm. With
to-
well, I figured it out.
I didn't off the rip get it, but reading online, I was like, oh shit.
Because I was watching it. Me and my boy were watching it. As soon as said thing was presented and you saw it, I immediately, that's what I said to him. I'm like, yo, is that the... Oh, I said it'd be
And I
crazy
like
if
that.
it's...
I like that.
It'd be crazy if it's,
Yeah.
and it was wild. And Jules sitting here like,
So
you motherfucker.
if we get it,
No.
I think they're gonna get another one. He knows. He
Yeah.
knows.
I know.
So
I
think
thought
they're
that
definitely
was a
getting
nice
ano-
touch.
Yes.
That was a nice
Yes.
touch.
I just got a question.
I
though.
think we're getting another one.
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say, y'all, is it good enough for them to
Oh, yeah,
really
definitely.
start a
Another one.
reboot?
It should be. It should already be greenlit. Because if you stay the path, because it's finally come back to what it should have been. the
Then they
entire
could
time.
lead into a remake of the original if they wanted
Yeah,
to.
because me
Oh,
personally,
really?
You could.
Oh, wow.
You could.
because like I've said before, The Predator is one franchise that no matter how bad the movies got, I was still running to see the next one. Like this one could have been terrible. They could have come out with another one. Like, oh, in 6 months, oh man, I'm
Think
Short
about
term.
The thing I was reading today, they were saying that this is probably one movie they said that should have went to the theater instead of
It
a
should've.
streaming
I'm glad it
services.
didn't though.
yeah.
And if they did the next one in theater, okay, I'll go see it.
And what was the runtime? It didn't feel long.
139.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Man.
139.
It did because it felt even shorter than that. I meant to look at it. I was like, because you got through it quick. Like everything happens. Boom, boom.
What's
boom,
139 in minutes? I mean, that's 139
About
minutes.
an hour and about an hour and 30.
How? What?
139 minutes. 139 minutes.
139 minutes is 2 hours.
That's 2 hours. Let me
Two
let me
hours and
double
19
let me
minutes.
double check real quick.
Because 120 is 2 hours.
Well,
So that's
yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Let me double check on that
It
real quick.
definitely didn't feel like 2 hours.
But if they give me a sequel and or if they give me a different time period, I wouldn't be mad.
That's what I
As
think
long
they
as the
should do.
same team is in it, I think like the same writers, everybody else is still backing it.
I felt bad for him because this was supposed to have been like a surprise movie, but because of that lawsuit that was
No, it's an hour and 39 minutes.
Hour 39.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but
Which
that,
even it felt quick for an hour 39.
Yeah, you can get through it.
Yeah,
You
it
get
was
through
like,
it.
shoo.
oh man,
I enjoyed it.
I
I'm ready for the next one, honestly.
Yeah.
And similar, Alien did this right, where they did prequel series with Prometheus.
I didn't
If
like
this is I liked it. I like Prometheus. The subsequent stuff that happened, I'm not really
that.
a fan of.
I thought the alien was forced at the end just to make.
It could have been a
present
second thought. It could have been a second thought, and I can agree with that. However, the point I'm really getting at is that if Prometheus, is the full circle back into a future's Alien movie, like the beginning of Aliens 1, but just a remake.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like prequels till we get a new remake of Schwarzenegger's, whoever they cast and redo that with. I'm okay with it.
That's interesting because Predator is like the holy grail of like
I'm okay with it.
action films.
I'm okay with it.
And it was a lot of attention to detail that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked that he had tech, but he
But
didn't
it was
have the
aged for that.
yeah,
period.
he didn't have
Yep.
like advanced. Like
He
I
didn't
mean,
have
he
1990.
had advanced tech for that time period,
Right.
Which is some of it might have still even been advanced.
But you
tech
see
for,
where the evolution is taking
Yeah.
place at, and you see the evolution from 300 years ago
Mm-hmm.
versus where they got to back when they met.
yeah,
I heard the weapons
Schwarzenegger.
were like pretty
So
dope.
you can see that they evolved as well,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, my
I was a
boy-
big fan of the mask.
I
His
enjoyed
helmet-
this.
his
I
helmet
enjoyed
was-
it. I enjoyed
I
it.
like the helmet. I was like, ooh, and he even
And
looked
they
different.
take it back.
He looked different.
He looked different,
like a
and so you
primitive-
can see
'cause
that
the thing I was reading,
the civilization is evolving over time.
the thing I read, they were saying that they made him look because everybody was thinking it was going to look like
Like
the
a
old
traditional. Yeah,
Predator.
no,
They said
no,
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 they
no.
wanted to do something totally different with it, and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of unique. Then when you start seeing some of the pictures online, I'm like,
I enjoyed it, and I'm glad they
I
took this
saw the
route
full body on. I like
as
the
opposed
helmet.
to continuing where they was going. I'm glad they went this route.
Oh wow.
And like my only if I had to nitpick, I had to absolutely nitpick and find something that I was like, just the fact that they had the natives speaking clear English.
Yeah.
But I get it.
But
you
you
had
had
to do
to.
it because it's.
Did you
English
see
movie.
that there was a Comanche dub?
Oh, is there?
If you can watch it in full Comanche.
And that's also dope.
Yeah.
That night now that takes my complaint away.
But
because now-
again, I think it's dub, so it
Okay.
wasn't originally spoken in their language. It was spoken in English. It's just voiced over in
Yeah.
Comanche. But I'm
but
glad
that's still
that they
dope.
did that.
Yeah, that's
That
dope
is-
too.
Oh wow.
So if they did that and gave us all English subtitle, like
Yeah.
a la what's the Apocalypto,
Oh
then
yeah.
I'd be like, ooh,
That would've really been different.
Oh, it'd have been real gritty.
Yeah. But you know what? I hate reading subtitles.
It would,
I'm lazy when because I want to concentrate.
Well, see,
on
I've been
what
watching
I want.
anime for so long. You gotta develop
Yeah.
that.
I
Oh,
was saying,
yeah.
that don't bother me. as
Look,
much.
I watched
You gotta
anime. I
develop
still
that- you
didn't.
gotta
I was so
develop
happy
that
when they came with the English dubs. I was like,
gotta
yes.
develop
That's
that
how I
eye.
watched Dragon Ball at first. Was because the tapes that we used to get.
Dragon Ball is one of the few ones I prefer the English
Yeah.
voice on. Most other ones I don't.
My first
but
incarnation of it was with the
Dragon
Japanese
Ball voice.
subtitles. I never seen.
Yeah.
I heard the voices later on in life, but I just saw the original shows. I was like this.
The English dub and the music for Dragon Ball. I don't know if you've ever heard the original music for some of the episodes, and then the music that they use on the ones that we watch. Oh man, the music makes it so much better. Like when somebody powering up and they hit you with that ding 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 ding
Yeah.
ding ding, they hit you with that build up.
Vegeta got the hardest damn theme.
they'll never do Vegeta justice until
Hell no, that man needs
we'll
a damn
see.
solo.
We'll
movie,
see.
man.
Just that Dragon Ball supposed to come out soon, right? The
Well,
Super.
Yeah,
Supposed to come out soon, right?
Brian got us tickets.
Oh, y'all got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When is it
for
coming out?
the 18.
Yeah, we're seeing
18?
it that
Nah.
opening day.
Nah, I might try to go to.
I think because it's only like maybe like a limited
really?
appearance.
Damn.
I think it's running a half a week or a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Phantom, when they put them out in the theater, they don't keep them in there long.
Okay,
They
let me
drop
look
this
into
way.
that. I'm gonna look into that tonight.
It's better than it used to be because I remember when me and Brian, the first time we saw a Dragon Ball Z movie in theaters, it was one time, one day, and that was it. And we had to maybe buy tickets for Mission Impossible 3 and just
Sneak
walk
in.
into Dragon Ball.
I'm gonna look into it tonight. See if I can get it in. Last thing, well, not the last thing, but another thing that dropped out this weekend was Sandman. I know Sandman has a good following of the comics. Neil Gaiman also has the other show on Stars, American Gods. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only about 5 episodes in.
It's like Spider-Man Sandman?
No.
Oh,
So
this is
there's
dealing
a
with-
separate. Is it DC?
Yeah,
It is DC.
It's based off a DC Vertigo book.
But the writer Neil Gaiman, he does a lot of fiction. He has a lot of books out, various storylines. American Gods is one of his books.
Yeah.
Notable writer. This is probably one of his most
He did Mirror Mask, I think.
famous works is Sandman. And a lot of the praise comes to the casting and the detail that it took into. This story's been out probably 90s. I gotta look into see when it originally came out.
I think
But
it was
people
like
been
91.
wanting a movie or a live action version of this for so long. And he was like, all right, we finally got the budget. We finally got where he's overseeing everything pretty much. And the casting, the effects and everything are pretty much spot on with a lot of this.
I
And
watched one episode so far, and it was good.
and I'm enjoying it. I personally haven't read the comics or graphic novels or whatever version of it, but so far as the story on Netflix is pretty good.
I know for a fact for years they have been trying to do this.
They've been trying to for a long time.
A lot of people had their hands in it. David Goyer had it at one point. Joseph Gordon-Levitt he wanted to play Sandman at one point. I think he signed on to play him at one point. But they could never really find a good launching pad for it until now. I was surprised that they even actually greenlit it.
Oh, so January 1989 is when that series started.
Oh, wow.
All the way until 96. DC's Vertigo. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, there's stuff I can nitpick about it, but one thing I was saying about the writer, he does have like a little taste for dialogue, and there's a lot
that book is dialogue.
Yeah,
it's real dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
The action and stuff is the sub part of it.
But there's some interesting episodes I think you'll like.
Yeah.
So if you ever, Jason, get it around, you get the free time after you watch the Joker. I mean,
Got you.
There's you watch The Boys? No.
I'm terrible with TV series. Like,
I think you'll like The Boys.
Like, yeah, when it comes to TV series, I'm terrible with them. Like, if it's not my usual comedies that I watch
I think you
on
like
broadcast.
The Boys.
See, I always heard it was a little graphic.
It is graphic.
it
It is graphic, and it is overtly graphic at times.
Yeah,
but it's overtly graphic to show
Especially
the message.
this season.
To show the message, especially of when you're facing with superhuman beings in reality, and you're human.
yeah.
The scale. Imagine
They
Superman
answer
just
that
walked in
question.
here and punched you in the face. You ain't gonna go flying. That shit gonna go through your head.
Because, I think what messes me up with a lot of things, I have the habit of going to IMDb. First of all, because I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, I hate my phone does it all the time, and nobody was talking to you. You're nosy. Anyway, so yeah, I have the habit of going to IMDb, and I go to the parental guides just to see what I'm dealing with.
Okay.
And some of the stuff I'll be reading, I'm like,
Yeah, it's graphic. It's graphic.
Yeah, this season
like-
was something.
And this
it'd be
season,
like,
yeah.
it'd be like it'd be like
I don't
violence
want
and
to get
gore.
too violent.
It says severe, and I'm looking, I'm like, why does it have like 20 different segments?
Yeah.
It was
it's
one
graphic.
the one episode
That messes me up
I
with a
want
lot
to
of things,
say
like-
I don't want to really like say it.
It's graphic.
It answered the question of why Ant-Man didn't do with Thanos.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting there and my whole jaw dropped when I saw that.
Yeah, it was,
shit.
and that was like the first episode too.
Then it was the other episode when the other thing happened.
Yeah, it's graphic. But the story is good, and I would say that's one of the shows that got progressively better to me.
Yeah, first season was second season was okay. This one really
got me
it
in
going. Jensen Ackles was a damn good soldier boy though. Man.
Oh boy,
he crushed that.
Marvel gonna have to grab him for something. I feel like
eventually
he gonna get other roles for sure. But he got so much money from damn Supernatural. I'm pretty sure he ain't got to do shit else.
Yeah.
Lastly, we'll end this on a note, and I'll let y'all rock with this. Any wrestling news? I mean, I heard you guys talking about SmackDown recently. Everything's been looking a lot better since Triple H took the helm. Any thoughts, any news, anything that stood out for you guys?
You can definitely tell the tone of the show is a lot different now. It's not a lot of that hokey Vince McMahon stuff that he liked. He's actually investing in time on these guys actually wrestling. That's what I want to see. I don't really care. Depending on who it is. I mean, you're going to have the entertainment part of it. But this wasn't like a forced entertainment. It was actually some good storytelling involved. Some people got a lot of time in their wrestling that didn't get a lot of time with Vince McMahon. Some was more so just like 20 or 30 seconds. These girls got about a good half an hour in a match the other night. So it's interesting to see where they go from here, just because of what's going on with everything else, with all these other companies making moves now, because Triple H knows a lot of them guys probably want to come back, and AEW is like, nah, your ass is going to stay here.
Right.
I think it's fun. It's making it fun again now. Now you don't have trying to find the right word to say. You don't have a choice.
You have a choice.
You have a choice now.
It's not like a monopoly. That's the only one thing.
So
you
now
got.
you got some options you can watch.
Right.
I just want to see. I'm going to give Hunter a year to see how deep and what changes he really wants to make. I know he's got some checkered history. I know he don't really like him for it, and obviously good reason. But I can see where his intent is. I can see what he's trying to do. Mm-hmm. But it's just going to be interesting to see where they go from here.
I mean, I thought it was cool bringing back Karrion Kross, even though I'm not a huge Karrion Kross fan. That whole end segment to SmackDown was like, oh, that was cool, something different. Right. That I could sit there and look at, oh, you got my attention, WWE. Me personally, I mean, I think everybody's hyped for Triple H to be in charge now, and he's there, and he's going to come and save the day, and it's going to be so much great wrestling, and it's going to be awesome. But I'm just kind of like, me personally, a lot of my favorites aren't, I don't have any, like, I don't have anybody in WWE right now that I tune in to watch. Like, I always have a character. Mm-hmm. Like, I would tune in to see Punk, but I would have to watch the show
to see when
because I don't know what segment he's going to be in, when he's, what's going to happen. So I have to watch to see where Punk was going to be on the show. And then after Punk left, then it was Bray Wyatt. I got to see where Bray's going to be. I got to see where the Fiend's going to be. I got to catch his even before when he was switching over to the Fiend, and he wasn't doing nothing but doing those little Funhouse, the little what was it called?
It was
the Firefly Funhouse.
Yep.
I would tune into Raw and watch just to catch that segment, and not because it was so quick. It'd be times, I could go heat up some food or go to the bathroom. I missed it. So I would sit there glued just to catch a segment. And right now, WWE doesn't have anybody. And then I like Cesaro a lot. Like, everybody I really enjoy watching, most of them are over in AEW. So that's what I watch. And I prefer their brand of wrestling, how they do things. Like, they got issues. But I can sit there. I know by the fact that I don't have AEW on as background noise. I'm sitting there. I'm glued. I'm like, yo, yo, like versus Raw, I have it on. It's like, okay, it's on. Just
Right.
'cause.
I will say this. I mean, the past 2 weeks, Raw, WWE is like background noise for me, and I'm chatting with y'all about other stuff, and then I'll see something. This is my first time, maybe 4 years, I actually watched a show produced by the WWE from start to finish, from the start time
Yeah,
to the end time.
I was sending a message. I'm like, damn, maybe I missed out on something.
I mean,
I personally haven't watched SmackDown in a minute.
I haven't really invested time in watching their program in almost 4 years.
And
I would just catch like YouTube clips.
I'm similar to Jason in the fact where, there is a particular character that you kind of like and you follow him the most, right? But me personally, if I'm in the house Wednesday night, I'm turning on AEW. Monday night, I may or may not be watching Raw. I'm definitely not watching SmackDown. That's Friday, right?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not watching. So, will I give it a chance? Especially if it depends on if they get certain characters, Bray Wyatt. If WWE brings Bray Wyatt back, I'll give it a shot. I'll probably say I'm in the same boat as you, Jason, where it depends on the characters. I will give Triple H a shot and see how the storyline, the story development. I don't want the same stuff of let this one dude be the face and just basically every pay-per-view, Roman Reigns. I don't want to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar no more.
I think they're going to try to start getting away from all that and spreading it out now.
I haven't followed Cross, but I'm glad that they at least breaking it away from the. All right, we've been seeing Roman Reigns fight this guy. He didn't see the Brock Lesnar. Let's mix it up, right? So I'm cool with that. Again, I don't think similar where they have a particular character for me that. What would do it for me for WWE if they somehow managed to get MJF.
Ooh.
If they got MJF from AEW over there, then I'm probably watching WWE.
I just want to say real quick, wherever Drop Down is on Vince McMahon, that was the best damn thing that they have done.
Should have been happening.
Yeah, because like I said,
look, if it had been happening, he wouldn't have had to make budget cuts.
Yeah, budget cuts was going in some chicks' pockets.
But yeah, it's just I don't know, just me personally, just the wrestling itself. Like AEW, I sit there and it could be people that I don't even know. Like that new guy, I forget. He was on he's from Asian guy, young guy. He was just on, I think he fought
Moxley wasn't it?
He fought Moxley before, and then he was on Wednesday, or he was either on Wednesday or
I know you
Friday.
About. I can't remember.
The younger dude. Yeah.
I'd never seen him before.
Yeah.
I watched
a lot of these people. I'm
automatically a fan.
I've watched New Japan a handful of times. Some faces I remember.
Yeah.
The bald older guy that just get to hit. I remember him. I remember the one that fought Moxley. Was it Moxley? He kind of got like a little blonde streak. He got longer hair. Matan.
You talking about the one that they had for that title?
Yeah, for the title fight.
Yep.
He
had a good match.
So certain guy, Tanahashi, there's certain people that I remember him. And a lot of AEW is new to me because I didn't really watch Ring of Honor and I didn't watch some of the other promos. But after a few weeks, you're like, all right, I get a gist of who everybody is. I'm a gist of the storylines. And honestly, I'm tired of watching Street Profits. I'm tired of watching. I don't even know who in WWE no more, honestly.
And I feel
that's the problem that they have right now.
And I feel like every week AEW give me some guy I don't even know, but it's in a good way. Like I don't even know who this guy is. I like him. I like him. I hope they keep bringing it. I like how they have kind of like. Some people think it's chaotic, but I like how they have ROH and you got that revolving, blurred line of. Are you AEW? Like I'm like it's the same company. Like they're part of the same company. They're going to keep. But I said that's the same thing with WWE used to do with ECW.
They need to extend their time an hour. That 2 hour go by quick.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
For me, it goes by real quick.
But I feel like because it's so good. Versus if I watch 3 hours, I'm like, yo, this is 5th hour. What?
I think they need to extend the hour. But
it's a good. I mean, no matter who you really watch, it's in general, it's
I
a
like
good
having a
time
choice.
that you can at least have an alternative
if
to
anything,
watch.
us having the choice is the best outcome of this. Hopefully,
Fans is going to win because no
Right.
matter what they're doing now,
Right.
these guys are competing
and
for
at some
people's
point,
viewership.
we
now,
may get
so.
this whole. It's not gonna happen until AEW fizzles out, if they fizzle out. But that wars, you remember when we had the WCW WWE wars, and it's gonna come to the point. Oh, we stole this guy, and they're gonna play that storyline of I'm not with
subject. It's gonna be
MJF. I don't know what's gonna happen with
AEW
MJF, but MJF may start that.
But what's interesting with AEW now is that Warner Brothers merger. So you don't know what they're gonna do with that show within the next year or so.
Yeah,
that was kind of interesting that they brought up. I mean, they may have to start.
They brought that up?
Yeah, it was kind of. They didn't necessarily bring it up, but you can tell that it's going to be some changes made within that company because the guy who's running it now is like looking. He's going across the board, seeing what's making money. I don't know if AEW is bringing in a net profit for them. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't, because it's a privately owned company. They're not going to share their records. If it was like a publicly traded company like the WWE, you can look that up and see what they're doing. Since they're privately owned, they can hide whatever. They can say that they're losing money, but they won't have to report it.
Right.
But this new guy, I guess, who's running DC, or not DC,
WB.
but Warner Brother in general, is kind of bringing this up because he's slashing stuff across the board. It's just not only DC stuff, it's Warner Brothers stuff. He's going across everything, and he's basically saying, like, if this isn't making money or if it's not being a profit, we may have a problem. Now this is where Tony Khan is starting to make a lot of decisions that's kind of reactionary to what's going on right now. Because, WWE ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I mean, much as we hate them, love them, or hate them, they're going to be around longer than what an AEW is.
Right.
I mean, in the long run, they're going to win it. They're going to win the race no matter what you say, just because of they've been around longer and they've got
the system that they got in place is hard to fail.
You're going to have more people going to them for advertising money more so than AEW. Which I think it sucks, but
yeah.
I mean, I would love to see a AEW headline a show in the Dallas arena.
Well, I definitely do think they need to, because that time we did that pay-per-view here, they got some kinks that they got to work. They got a damn video game coming out by THQ. Don't look that good, but we'll see. Hopefully it ain't full price. I might try it out. If it's not full price, I'll try it out.
I'm a red box. It looks more like Def Jam. Fight for New York. I'm just waiting for Jimmy Crow to come out and hit somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to AEW. They're coming back for Dynamite and Rampage on
Philly,
September 28th.
Lyric Center.
Oh,
Center.
I'm going there. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
I went when they were here in March, end of March. It was good. Good show.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna check
Good
it out.
show.
I'll go. I've been looking. I've been trying to keep an eye on it.
They were saying that they were supposed to be coming down to Sixers Fieldhouse for a hot minute. But that was a rumor, but I don't know if it's true.
Nah, I'll go though. I'll go.
I hope they do. They need to start doing something in that damn building. Because ain't no basketball being played in that bitch.
But anything y'all want to go back on for tonight? Anything y'all want to add? Anything I missed that happened this week?
Nah, I just want to say thank you for all the people who are watching.
Definitely.
We're working on some things to make the show better, and just stick with us, hang with us. We'll try and be honest and authentic with everything what we do.
Yes, sir. And bring all the news to the light, good or bad.
Sir.
So, all right. Well, then we'll conclude that. That'll be today's episode. Again, I'm at a Tri-State Tip on IG.
Julian Smith on Facebook.
Tiger Helly 19.
All right. We'll call that a wrap.
Peace.
Till next time.